Smooth 98.1 here. We are gone past 6:30 for a Monday morning. Wow, I can't believe it. And of course, this means the Business Express is up here on Smooth 98.1, Smooth Breakfast to be specific, for the next 15 minutes. Joining me, of course, is Rotus. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, Shokwe. Good morning to all our viewers, listeners. Hope everybody's, managing on this managing Monday.
Yeah. That's the no, Rotus. No, I'm freshly back. I'm still fresh. I've got the
Oh
freshness and
yeah.
relaxation. I refuse to manage right now. Okay, but yeah, lots that we're gonna be talking about because our picture says that if you're watching us on YouTube, you can kind of see the little screenshot before you get into the video, and I think you know what we're gonna be talking about. So lots to discuss, and let's tell you how you can join the conversation. If you're watching on YouTube, there's always a comment section, so just leave a comment up on the live stream and we'll get to it. You can also send WhatsApp messages into 0809 440 981, and you can tweet at us, tag us at smooth981fm, use the hashtag businessexpress981. We'll see what goes on. All right, so Rotus, first things first, let's talk about the thing that keeps us all moving, or rather staying still, because the fuel queues
Yeah.
are still around.
They are. I mean, I was last night, Walla War Road. There were queues. There were stations that were not selling. On the Lekki axis, the Pinnacle fuel station around the second roundabout, I almost got stuck there because the queue was spilling into the Lekki Expressway and now causing traffic from phase one all the way to the second roundabout. So it was pretty bad. The oil marketers, I think from IPMAN, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, they've threatened what they're calling the mother of all fuel queues this week if they are not paid what they say is about 74 billion naira in bridging claims. And the bridging claims are what they're owed for
Yeah, they're saying it's like
transporting
a
the
year's
fuel.
worth of bridging claims, right?
Yes. The head of the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority claimed that money had been paid, and they are saying that they have not been paid that money, and that they're just going to shut down operations this week. And the thing is, the queues they've remained. So this is before them even saying that there's going to be the mother of all queues this week. It's one of those things that is an issue with respect to how bad things are going to get for Lagosians and for Nigerians across the country. So
because you know what, while we were enjoying our times of plenty, or at least seemingly plenty, across the nation, people were already dealing with what we're dealing with now. So if they're saying the mother of all, just how bad do you think it can get?
it's going to get pretty bad because even it's going to grind the country to a halt. That's really what is going to happen, because if if there were already if there wasn't a supply, if the supply wasn't even sorted out these past few weeks, and now they're saying that they're going to make things a lot worse, then you can expect that things are going to get pretty bad, and that's going to translate into transportation costs. There's already no Okadas. It's just going to make a bad situation a whole lot worse.
Oh boy. Well, you turned it right. Managing Monday. Thank you, Rotus. Thank you. Okay. So let's move on now. We're going to be talking about something that has happened. Obviously, we all know that we're going through bad times, right? And I've seen different cities, different countries doing things like providing free public transport, stopping taxation on petrol, things like that. Alleviation, relief giving policies. But here in Lagos, something different happened. We had the BRT fares go up across all the routes. Now, what was the reason for this?
Well, the BRT folks are saying that increase in diesel costs are one of the reasons why, the main reason why the routes the price for routes, I think it's 100 naira across the board for all routes are going up. So diesel cost is one. And well, they say Babajide Sanwo-Olu has approved the conversion of buses of BRT, buses from diesel to compressed natural gas. We've had this story of compressed natural gas now for quite a while. The federal government said that they would commence, this was like a year ago, I think, the conversion of a number of vehicles, and they would pay. There was a whole confusion around it. They said they would pay for it, and they said they wouldn't. The conversion of vehicles from petrol to compressed natural gas. I mean, the cost of that, if the federal government is going to pay for it, is going to come to, quite a bit. I think it's 100,000 naira, 150,000 to convert just one vehicle. So the BRT situation, the cost of diesel is what is impacting that decision.
Now, but here's the thing, Rotus. Another thing that he had said, or that they said, was that, and you're going to have to explain this to me. My mind does not comprehend. I'm not grasping the logics and logistics of this. So what they said was diesel, high cost of diesel, rising cost of diesel. Then the number of buses being out of commission due to a lack of spare parts. So they have less buses on the. I know this is like supply and demand, but when it comes to a service that, is a public service, how does this work exactly? So you have much less buses on the road, but you're now going to charge people more for getting on them.
Yeah. Explain. So the buses are imported, and that's just the truth of it. So because they are imported buses, you have to account for spare parts when it comes to fixing them. And these buses came in brand new. Remember, there was the NSARS issue. A lot of them were burned down. They had to get more. So, that's strained the resources of the state. So if you're not able to get enough spare parts, then you're not able to fix a lot of these buses, which reduces the supply of buses. You now compound that issue by raising prices of transportation. It's a problem as far as the BRT is concerned. But when you don't have a domestic manufacturing sector for vehicles, this is what you face. You will face this issue of spare parts, and it's something that's even for the local manufacturers of vehicles here. When we've got Innocent, we've got a couple of them. That issue of spare parts is something that is going to come up for folks who want to patronize locally made vehicles. You have to make sure that there are enough of them in supply to fix these vehicles. So it's a big wage bill.
Certain brand of vehicle that people get solely for the fact that spare parts are just ubiquitous. You can
of course,
pick it up from the side of the road, which is because when we think about the cost of a vehicle, the original cost is like a drop in the ocean, because what you need to think about when you're maintaining your car as you go about your many years with it is maintenance and yearly maintenance, which includes spare parts, right? So if you haven't factored that in when it comes to these locally made vehicles, then what happens? You can use it for like a year and
then the trouble starts coming. And then that's why you think about it, what's it called? The roads that add to the issues with vehicles. When you think about the potholes and you think about the wear and tear, that increases, the frequency of maintenance of these vehicles, which now compounds the issue when it comes to spare parts. So, and for this to be happening now, food and with the fuel issues and BRT and so on and so forth, this just compounds the increase in costs when it comes to food and transportation for the average Nigerian. So it's just yet another issue that we have to face here in Lagos. So it's just one more bit of wahala, unfortunately.
Meanwhile, Wahala Monday, maybe that's how you should have termed it. Meanwhile, Yinka Bolu up on WhatsApp said, thanks guys for the traffic update. Certainly avoiding Awolowo Road like the plague this morning.
He has to, because it's just going to be bad.
Stations, I guess.
It's just going to be bad. But it's still 74 billion. You can't come up with 74 billion for at least half of it to placate these oil marketers. You got to find the money. You got to pay it one way or the other, because this is just not the time. That we've reduced Okadas are no longer on the streets, so you are now forced to use buses. There's the traffic angle of that.
Mm.
First of all, and then people who are even trying to find fuel to fuel their generators can't find it. So, oh God, what's this name of this song? There's a song that goes, "It's enough to make you go crazy. It's enough to make you go mad," or something. I can't remember what song that is.
Oh no, Rotus, you don't know me. Why did you do this to me? You know I'm gonna be thinking about that song now.
I'm gonna Google it. I'll Google it. I'll look for it. But it's really stressful. I mean, as somebody I know in Surulere was saying that they couldn't find fuel because nobody was selling for them to be able to put in their jet.
And make you crazy. Sorry, I just had to pop that.
Aha! There you go. Thank you. That's we should play that. We should play that.
Yeah. Okay. So you were saying fuel in their generators?
Yeah, you can't now. You can't find fuel to put in your gen to give you power, and you're generating your own power because the grid keeps collapsing. So the grid is collapsing. You have to generate your own power. You can't even find the fuel to power your home. So the government is just letting you down on both sides, right? They're not providing enough electricity, and then you can't even find fuel to power your generator to make up for the electricity that the government cannot provide. It's really frustrating, and it's
I've been in darkness for the past for 1 month. Actual darkness. It's fun.
Look at that.
So much fun. All right, we've got this message in. Yinka says, demand and supply, if properly understood, goes a long way in solving many of our problems, which makes me wonder if the governor understands this simple logic at all. When did the BRT buses when the BRT buses came into operation, I doubt it was considered that a proper maintenance yard or workshop would go a long way in ensuring the longevity of these buses, but no, we don't have such. There has been complaint upon complaints about these transport buses and not being enough. And to make matters worse, there are now too few buses for lots of routes. I know, wait, hold on. And now they're approving compressed natural gas for them. I hope you understand that if a 12 kilo cylinder gas goes for 9,500 and this does not cause demand problems on the, I hope this does not cause demand problems on the already limited gas that we do have.
Right. Yes, I think good point. It's a very good point that he raises there. It's a continuous, it's just price increases across the board, and it's just the absolute worst time for people to have to be dealing. So everywhere you turn, from lack of fuel to public transportation, it's just a myriad of price increases, and it's just a problem. And it's just really tough for the average Nigerian on the street, whose wages are not increasing, by the way, and so that can't even keep up with these price increases.
I've had this conversation too many times over this past week. It's
gosh, it's
and real quick, do you want to just we've got less than a minute. Let's see if we can do it in a few seconds. Just touch a little bit on what's going on with the Oronsaye reports.
Oh, yeah, we'll probably hopefully get into this more tomorrow. They've inaugurated another committee, basically, to review the creation of all the ministries, departments, and agencies since 2014. This is an administration that is leaving power in less than a year. And they are inaugurating yet another committee in order to, I think there are two, to review the creation of ministries, departments, and agencies, and then the Oronsaye report. It's almost insulting at this point, but I guess we'll get into that more with Nairametrics tomorrow.
Right. Yeah. Very quickly, we got this one in from Zikolo, who says, please, which government are we talking about at this point? Because as far as I'm concerned, there isn't government anywhere. Everyone is his or her own government. You provide your security, your housing, your water, everything, and all the government does is wait for you to be taxed. And that's all from Zikolo. All right, thanks for popping that in. And that's the end of the conversation today, but don't you worry, we've got more coming for you tomorrow at 6:30. Till then, find Rotus. He's going to be on social media at Rotanquote. Find him and tackle him and tell him where your government is. All right, so Rotus, thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.